I don't find newspapers a dying art yet. I think we still serve a vital part of the conversation, the public conversation on issues that are being discussed in the town square just by anybody. So I guess that would be the only thing I'd really have to say is I'm still pro media, I guess. The distribution factor is changing. It's more digital. I have a blog that I write, the Sky Talk blog. And in a lot of ways, I look at, okay, I just post stuff to the blog, and then we make the decision, well, what are we going to actually print in the paper? So it's just sort of changed how we deliver it. But it's still, in a lot of ways, it's still a newspaper. It's just maybe not on paper.
I think dying is not the right word. I think dead is the more operative one. And part of that is because because journalistic integrity has been compromised. True journalists who are willing to be neutral in every and any situation, no matter the context, political, economic, spiritual, cultural, whatever, that is gone and has been gone for quite some time. Bury that lead.
I think the newspaper industry is a dying art. I think because of the proliferation of the internet and the various ways people can access news now online without having to pick up a physical paper, I think is ultimately the detriment that is bringing the print component to media to a standstill. I also think that with Twitter and Facebook and other social platforms like YouTube, this is another way in which people are getting their news and not relying anymore, or are becoming less reliant on actual journalists to bring them news, which I think is contributing in part to a lot of the hysteria we see, which I also feel is equally contributing to a lot of the misguided perceptions about various issues. And I think it's a perfect breeding ground for misinformation and in some cases for disinformation. But at the same time, we also have to look at the validity of journalists, because as we look at the mainstream and the journalists who have admitted to extreme bias and the news networks in particular that have been equally biased, I think this also throws the idea of what is authentic and valid journalism into serious question. And I think it has ruined a large part, or at least has severely tarnished or blemished the idea of what journalism is and what it is now and what it should not be, because now it's a whole new thing, and a lot of it is now bordering on journalism, which is very unfortunate.
Hello. I agree with you. I don't think that newspapers have become totally obsolete. I just think because of the advancement of technology that they're becoming more digital, and you can view them in so many different ways now than just on print. In a hard copy, excuse me. And you can view them on your phones, with many of us who have smartphones, on the computer. I'm sure that some major newspapers have apps that you can purchase from either Android or the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. So I agree with you. I don't think that they have completely died out yet, but they have become more digital and paperless than they were even 5 years ago, or even like 10 years ago. So, but I do know some people, such as my grandparents, who read the paper every day and who like that because they're not tech savvy. So, yeah.